back to my channel. I'm live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? Probably asleep, right? It's 4 in the afternoon here in Japan. So probably it's the middle of the night where you are. Should I close the window? My voice kind of echoes more than I thought. Wait. Wait. Is it? Did I set it as public? I always forget. Okay, you can see me. Good. Hello. Thanks for coming. Uh, Every time I live stream, I'm like, did I change the setting? Oh, hello, hello. Good to see you. Am I on the right channel too? Like, God, I'm not prepared enough. I'm on Random Yoko too, right? Okay. And it's public, right? Okay. Good. Okay. Good, 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 good. How are you? How are you guys? Aisha. Ah, got a notice? Cool. Thanks for coming. So glad that you guys are still awake. Thank you. So, as I put in the thumbnail, this is today's, right? Mm, yeah. Today's newspaper here in Japan. Can you see? Barely awake. This should wake you up. So it says that Trump posted this AI picture on Truth Social. Yeah. So basically just explaining what happened. Like he posted this to his own social media meeting, Truth Social, and that it could be taken as that it's insulting to Catholic Church, and he participated in the funeral of Francisco. But what's that word? I don't know the Christian term, Francisco. And because he was known as a liberal, known for his liberal position to make much of diversity, Francisco was criticizing Trump for his illegal immigrant measurement and so on. And then when he was asked who Trump wants to be, chosen to be the next what's that term for Kyoko? Pope, right? Pope. Um, he said he wants to be that, and there's a picture. So that's yeah. I was so surprised to see that because this was posted like officially, So that's always Pope Trump. I wonder how Christian people take it though. Of course, like I follow my friends overseas, and they are most likely like either liberals or like some Ukrainians too. And Ukrainian people, of course, like they feel that they're not liked by Trump, right? So like, of course, I saw some like a negative criticism over it, but I don't know. It's I want the lighting too. Yeah, that's complimenting. Okay. Uh, Trump ultimate trolling drives news cycles all over the world. JD responded, really? Yeah. I think like every time I see like a serious criticism over stuff like this, I'm like, are you? I I I, I kind of every time I feel like asking those serious people like, like where were you? Where were you all these years? Because Trump has been Trump all these years. Starting from the 2016 campaign too, I think that his staff knew how to use meme, internet meme, So, but I guess though that there's a line that you shouldn't cross, like, so that's why I'm wondering what Catholic people would think about this, because um, for me, like, if he did something like this about our Tenno, like our emperor, then of course I would be upset. But I don't know about Christianity, like the level of things like this. But yeah, I might be wrong, but I think Ukraine is ultra orthodox. Yeah, but like you know, they started to do things differently from Russia. Yeah. Oh, but that's why, right? That's because they are Catholic. Catholic is Orthodox. I don't. I don't have. Sorry, I don't know much knowledge about Christianity, so I'm not sure. But yeah. So that's maybe part of the reason why they're upset. That's interesting. But yeah, Japanese people tend to have the values close to European countries. So as for this, I guess I don't know. Like I don't even know. Like I not everyone is reacting to this, so I don't know. But it's on the news though, so there should be some kind of reaction. I should look into it and uh but I don't know if I should translate that reactions though, because yeah, like what I do is to, of course, to be the bridge between Japan and America, and not to upset Americans. So, oh yeah, let's see. Catholics get a lot of criticism. I think they are used to things like this. I am not Catholic. Are majority of Americans Protestant? Conservative Protestant evangelicals, Christians like me love it. Ah, Jody, a Catholic, met the Pope the day he died. Right. Now I remember. Thanks for reminding me. And said he didn't mind the joke at all. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I saw a meme making fun of JD Vance. You know, like a devil looking. What's the like a death? What do you call that thing in English? Shinigami. I don't know how to say shinigami in English. Like, why would you use that word? Wait for me. I'm gonna translate shinigami eigo. Grim Reaper? Oh, it's Reaper. Mm, Wait, Grim Reaper. Yeah, Reaper sounds familiar. Yeah, so JD Vance as Grim Reaper, and meeting Pope. Like there's somebody photoshopped that picture of like him meeting the Pope, and yeah. So I was like, wow. There was a time like when I was first covering like American politics, for the presidential campaign of 2016. So I was already, you know, supporting Trump, looking at what he and his people are saying and so on. And of course, like um, back then too, I saw some criticism over the Pope, and I criticized him accordingly, to the Americans who were criticizing the Pope. And then I got a phone call from this man who was like a mentor at the time, like a expert, and he was like, Yoko, don't criticize the Pope. He's like, like, it's not like there's no equal thing, but like you shouldn't criticize the Pope because it's like criticizing our emperor. And I'm like, oh, zip. That's why like I'm like, oh, that's what it is. Like, I don't get it, like the level. So that's why I don't criticize figures like that. But yeah, you are Protestant. Report on the Vatican. We have orange smoke. Oh, conclave? Are you talking about conclave? Conclave. Is it L or R? I don't know. Do you know actual numbers? I live in LDS here. Oh, Mesasone, hisashiburi starting late today. Yeah, I was not feeling good today. So, I mean, I have been not well lately. So like today I woke up perfectly fine, like I go for a walk now, instead of jogging though because I'm not at my best. So like I've been walking lately in the morning and I did that, but after I came home, I ate and then I started got back into this bad condition again. Like that was the case for the past few days too. I don't know what's wrong with me. But then my stomach hurt like so I had to meditate a lot today, and that's why I'm late. Sorry, but I'm so thankful that you guys are here. Also, another thing that caught my eyes about America is this news. Waltz is now like he was what's the word? He's now an ambassador. Or yeah, for the UN. Yeah. So he was a national security guy, but now he's gone to that position. Uh, this is bad news for Japan because our understanding is that he understands Japan well, and especially the rise of the threat of China. That's yeah. Here it says too in the newspaper that he is known like a kyoko, like hawkish, like very strong, strong against China, and values alliance and so on. So that's sad, but it's his fault though to mix somebody else that's not responsible, like who's not charged to the group chat or signal. That's something that you must double check. So this is from yesterday. Yesterday for Japan was the Constitutional Day, Memorial Day, like our Constitution. You guys wrote it, so it's not a pleasant day for us, especially because it's one of our emperors. Is it birthday? My memory, man. Like, I gotta let me Google something. Hmm, wasn't this our emperor? What was that? I don't exactly remember. Like, so it has something to do with our emperor. Like, it's a wrong day to impose constitution. Usually, also, you know, you're not supposed to write a constitution for the loser country. At least that's what we talk about. But finally, after decades, you see the number. I mean, it's probably mirrored, but 60% agrees. 60% of the people agree to revision of, or what do you call, like amendment of a constitution. Yay! Finally. But the interesting part is that Japanese people, like I read the content of these articles. Like there's something else in another on another page too. But basically, so Japanese people, after seeing what happened in Ukraine, like Russia invaded Ukraine, we all saw that and saw the limits of our constitution because, like, we believed that, you know, chanting peace and saying that, oh, we would not invade other countries. By that, Japanese people, at least majority of Japanese people, believed that our peace would be maintained. The reality is, though, that as the majority of conservative people here in Japan know, that our peace is maintained because of Japan-U.S. alliance, together with U.S. bases, dispatch. Like there are U.S. bases in Japan, and also we are under the nuclear umbrella of the U.S. And so basically, you guys, Americans are, protecting us, and that's why we, even though we are surrounded by nuclear powers like China and North Korea and even Russia, like Russia even is our neighbor. So, but yeah, but still, we are somehow maintaining our country because of the U.S. But many people, as we are educated that way, though, that we believe that uh, it's because of our constitution. At least the leftists here believe strongly that it's because of our pacifist constitution that Japan is the way it is, which is ridiculous. But finally, Ukraine was kind of similar, like they had to give up on their nuclear weapons, and also they basically demilitarized, right? Like they decreased their security uh, system, and so they got vulnerable and so on, and now they they are focusing on defense, of course. Like Biden didn't let, like Biden, you know, gave weapons to Ukraine, but they couldn't attack Russia, like, cross border attack was not allowed. And so that's very similar to basically that's how Japan is. We are taught to get hit first to attack. That's our constitution. We have to first get the damage so that we can finally work on our defense. But Ukraine is something like that, right? So now after seeing that, like majority of Japanese people kind of woke up, but still it says like the numbers show that the majority of Japanese people don't want to get rid of the sense of pacifist, like we don't want to attack first. Like we want to revise our constitution, but we don't want to have the ability to attack or something. Like we have the ability to counterattack now, but what was it? I don't remember because it doesn't make sense, like it's so hard to understand. So that's why I'm like, well, what did they say, what was it? So majority of people, like 88% of people feel threatened about the national security involvement around Japan. But they just want to discuss it, I guess. One second. Sorry. I want to read your comment, but I gotta let you know, like, what you said, right? 60% want amendment, but there's a but, Yeah. But anyway, either way, whatever the public opinion is, currently our national diet, our parliament, LDP, our ruling party, together with other parties that support the amendment of constitution, they don't have the requirement to revise it. They need 2/3 of the agreement to, change the I mean, revise the constitution, but they don't have enough seats. So, yeah, that's a difficult phase that we are in. Anyway, super chat will be appreciated and also prioritized. Phew, how's the weather? It's actually still kind of chilly, but finally it gets warm in the in like daytime, like from 10 to I don't know 3 or so. But I'm still feeling. I saw a bug. Still cold for me, but it's usually I think people are like you should probably bring some jacket. But 70 days. I don't know. It's the weather is nice though. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for coming. Oh, you're gonna call it a night. A leader you cannot give criticism of is a dictator. That's so true. Hope Waltz will be replaced by General Flynn and the original NSA from the first term. He's true MAGA. Didn't Flynn have some problem? I don't I don't remember exactly. Golden Week is a blend of different types of holidays. Yes. But like no, the constitution was imposed on Japan's important day, like a curse. What's Mika? Whose birthday? Our emperor's birthday, I think, or something. I don't remember. Oh, I guess that's not the. What? I don't know. I gotta remember. Like I haven't talked about Japan's history and so on in such a long time. I need to like remember things. Yoko, hello. Good afternoon from America, Yoko. Good afternoon. Thanks for coming. Did you and Hide ever get to watch Patola Bar? I forgot how to read it. No, we haven't yet. Like we have not had a time. Like my husband has been busy and he's not here either today. He is helping. Where is that? He's helping a festival right now. He's in the city and I'm here stuck home. Uh, I wanna show the front page. This is today's, right? Do you see the picture? This is our festival in Fukuoka. Those are supposed to be like trains, I think, because it's JR, Japan Air Railway. So like they have a parade. It's a it's it's a thing. But every day though, we've been negotiating with the U.S. So like, will you get this talks about our negotiation with the U.S. You know, yeah. Japan is like, please, no, not our cars, please, not our car. We don't. Automobile industry is key industry for Japan, and it's really like even for like car parts and so on are produced in Japan. Many of the cases, I think, and those companies, like small companies that make automobile parts and so on, like they can't like they have to their business have to go on so that our big companies can keep creating cars, but the tariff would actually you know what's the word, like it will affect that sort of companies, and they're too small to sustain their business. So like it's like yeah, we are having a hard time right now with the negotiations. Um, but what's great though is that our government right now, even though uh, Ishiba, our current prime minister, has a lot of problems, and that the due to his problems, like that he doesn't have good surroundings, and also a limited number of uh, parliament members that can actually who can help him, and so like it's not a good government, but still, because he is from LDP, our ruling party, um, their party has a good like administrative system, they are together as one. So he doesn't, so that's why Ishiba and also this guy Akazawa, who is dispatched to the US for negotiations, they don't do stupid things. So that's that's the bright side of it all, that they don't compromise. So hopefully we can figure out, the win-win situation. But in order to be win-win, though, like Japan has to get good, good, uh, a good deal too. Like if because automobile industry is so big for us, like it's a key industry. So like if the deal weakens the industry, that would affect our economy, and if that happens, then Japan will get weakened, and we will not be able to sustain our security system either, because everything has a cost, right? So you don't want to do that. So I don't know how our people, our politicians are negotiating with the US. I'm really hoping that they're doing their best. Mm. Japanese cars are the best. Yeah. Also, like American cars, I think will sell well. If you do the market research and so on very well. The problem right now is that the wheel, the driver's seat is not even on the right side for us. Like yeah. I was talking about right in that different meaning, but it's literally on the right side as well. Our driver sits on the right side of a car. So so we don't even have that. Zero problem from my Toyota in 2 years. That's amazing. There was a time that this she's actually Japanese, like Japanese reporter. I think her name was Tabuchi. Tabuchi, I think. She worked for the New York Times, I think, and she was criticizing Toyota, like a negative campaign, to attack Japan. Like she's so anti-Japan that she would write anything anti-Japanese, whether it's. I think she was writing about historical disputes too. I don't remember well, but I remember that she was attacking Toyota as well. Uh, because of course, like if you have a business, sometimes there comes some trouble. But yeah, sometimes they attack like overly. No super chat. I'll be sad. I'll be so sad. Both my brother and I have Honda. Cool. My last car was Hyundai. I like Asian cars. US cars are garbage. Really? I mean, it's too big, I think. At least for Japanese people, standard. Yeah. It can't fit in our rows. I may have explained before, but in Japan, our cities, or like Japan in general, our society uh, got advanced early in the like in early times. So That's why like we already had streets or roads and so on, like a lot of ways to get around. And also we had lots of stores, like a market type of stores and so on. And it was already like our society was established very well. And back then, though, people didn't expect that there would come a day that automobile, uh, what, like vehicles would, go through there. So like the streets are so narrow. It's already done, like it's like people often talk about like, oh, Japan is now behind and blah blah blah. But that is because like we got advanced really early in the day in time, so that today, like if you go to like Southeast Asian countries or something, I don't even know, like I'm just guessing, but like if you go to some other, like now they are getting bigger and bigger, but like they're kind of late. They are late, right? But now, because they are late to the game, they can actually have a like broader streets and so on. Like there's nothing there. So like they can start building from scratch, so it's easier. It's they have all the premises, listed. Oh, we need to fit for the cars, we need to fit for the trains, that sort of things. Japan, it's already there, so we have to do something, you know with that in mind. We somehow make it work. But yeah, but I think it's gonna be that we are having issues now, but we will do something for the better. And then when we are better, probably those countries that are creating things now will suffer, because things will deteriorate. I can't say that word. Like it will get bad, like it will get old. Oh, Super Chat, thank you so much. Thank you. Happy Sunday. Yay. I am happy now. I'm happy now. Thank you so much. It helps me a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My voice is like done. This is a massive light. Yay, thank you. This is what I do. So, yeah. Right now, though, by the way, uh, US dollars is strong, I mean, yen is weak. So like when you guys give me super chat, it's actually more than it used to value. So it's actually pretty good for me. So thank you. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, super chat. Thank you. It's my favorite color. It's my favorite color. I mean, I love orange too, but pink is like, yeah, thank you so much. I'm surprised you haven't mentioned that Ukraine has begun signing the minerals deal with the US. Oh, so true. US Russia's being done with the US. Russia is being dumb though, really. Putin's lucky said some belligerent nonsense about Ukraine disappearing soon after. What? We're not done negotiating, so who knows? Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. But that's good though that yeah, now that they're signing the deal, minerals out. That's close to what I was saying before, like jokingly, that like Ukraine doesn't want to give those invaded areas to Russia. That shouldn't happen, in my opinion. But then I was saying, like, what if like America came in to at least like instead of Russia, give it to America? Like that's better than Russia, at least. I was saying stuff like that. But cost sharing would be great. So yeah, I think it's yeah, Ukraine is. I believe it's Ukraine's idea, right? So they thought of something good. Like Trump likes deals. Trump likes to do business. So that's great that they thought of it, because that's the difficult part with Trump administration. The world is having a hard time with Trump administration in general, because Trump is thinking with a business mind and not a political mind. So probably right now, actually, I'm reading a book written by my friend, my Ukrainian friend. It's a thick book. It's in Japanese, but like he was pointing out, my friend was pointing out, that Putin has political ambition, to um, like it's hard to explain because Russian people is it's a Russian mind. The expansion is like empire type of way of thinking. That in history, if you look back in history, like they picture like just like Chinese people do. Like Chinese people imagine like, oh, Chinese empire, just like that, like Russian empire, and they feel that especially after like Soviet Union collapsed, they think that their territories got smaller, and they believe that the bigger version is their real map, and so that's what they want to take again. Yeah, so that has nothing to do with business. But Trump, though, probably thinks that, according to my friend, though, that he probably thought that talking to Putin, like if he has a better deal for both sides, then Putin would stop doing that. But that's not the case, like so, like it's like even though we are talking about the same thing, like Ukraine, we are like the approaches or like what they're trying to do, like Russia and the US, they're thinking about different things, and we have a. I want to translate this expression in Japanese. Haguruma. Haguruma ga awanai. The direct translation is gears don't match. Oh, but I guess it's gears don't match. Compatible? Yeah, it's just. So that's what I see when I look at negotiations and so on. Like Trump is supposed to do well, but the Putin doesn't have that sort of a mind. Like he doesn't want to do business. He wants to take over. He wants his empire to get bigger. So that's why even Trump cannot, you know. Rather, Putin knows what would uh, what would make Trump happy. So you gotta really be careful of Putin. Yeah. The minerals deal is one of those win-win situations. Yeah, it helps to protect Ukraine and U.S. interests. I believe it was Trump's idea. Really? Zelensky did not sign and left the White House without signing a deal. Oh, you mean in the Oval Office? There was some miscommunication. Trump is America first. It is complicated. We don't like what Putin did, but frankly, it isn't our business. But we still want to help. Yeah, but like MAGA people, it's the like I'm not trying to like I don't want to offend you or anything, but like with a regular like international standard way of viewing politics is that we have a we have a history, and you know from the past to the present there are things that happened, and based on that, I mean, as we came to today to this day, we experienced many things, and every time something happened, like we had an agreement or some accord, and we base our politics on that premise, so we that's where common values exist. So yeah, at least the world order after the World War II, all all countries, even including the US, used to agree that For example, like the change of the status quo by force is not allowed. That's just our common values. But now it's not the case, obviously. So like that's why, like it's in my opinion, it benefits America to have that common values. Like if you look at the number of support rate of Trump dropping. And that makes me realize that, like, I have a strong attachment to Trump, and I always try to understand where he comes from and so on. And I love you guys. So, like, I always try to understand. But what happens in politics is that even though everything makes sense to you and all, but of course, like there are factions and like a lot of different groups inside your own country. And even though Trump won by landslide, like it was a historic victory, but some people just wanted to say no to Biden too. And also, like even neocon type and so on, they want the Republican Party to win against the Democratic Party. So that's kind of confusing, like even me, like in Japan, like I'm the minority in Japan. Like first of all, people are not interested in politics, and even if they are on the right side, they're extreme right wing people, and there are conservative people that are passionate like myself, and there are others like moderate conservative and so on. So like so what your common sense sometimes is not the common sense of the world. And it's important to stick to what you believe in, but at the same time, if you believe, like, care so much about it, sometimes it can actually isolate you. And like in politics, you always need numbers, especially in democratic nations. Like it doesn't matter in China or Russia, you just kill your enemies, your political opponents, just jail them or kill them, and it solves all the problems. But in America or Japan, in the West, we need numbers. So uh, so my suggestion, though, sorry, my voice is I don't know why my voice is like this. I think that now, what I was kind of fantasizing, getting ready today, is that Trump administration now should probably focus on on issues by China, for example, because China is helping Russia a lot. And like if you want Russia to stop, both sides, Ukraine or Russia, like if you want them to stop, first of all, like even China is in like my Ukrainian friend that visited from Ukraine recently, he told me that Ukraine has business with China too. And like just like Japan has deep ties with economically with China, China is in every country, right? So they are in Ukraine too, and also they are basically helping Russia too. So if you wanna, you work on both countries, China is key also, and China is behind North Korea as well. So seriously, like behind every problem, there's China. That's my East Asian common sense. So but how would you focus on China? I would talk about, Uyghurs, for example, in concentration camps or organ harvesting by CCP, or Tibetans, Southern Mongolians, Hong Kongers. Like there are so many problems. Japanese people, by the way, our delegation went to the U.S. recently to talk about the abduction by North Korea. Japanese people, like hundreds of them, allegedly are abducted by North Korea. They're still there, and and 17, I think 17, like bipartisan congressmen in the U.S. uh, have a is it a letter, like a statement, like a joint statement, I think. They signed something to prioritize the abduction issue because it can actually, you know, like it can actually help the US. So stuff like that. Like in politics, we have political approaches, and I guess it gets kind of complicated in that. Sorry, I ramble a lot. A lot of Russians have a lot of pride in their historical power, but feel cheated that they lost parts of the Soviet Union that did not like being bossed around. Yeah, like even Ukraine, like they. Uh, it's interesting how, like, when you talk about Soviet Union, like you think that, like, at least my understanding was that they all agreed to have the federation. Is it federation? Soviet Union. Yeah, but that was not the case according to the people that I actually talked to from those regions. Yeah. I'll be very grumpy with Russia if those guys find some stupid reason to ignore the peace efforts and extended the war. Yeah. It seems like that's what's happening though. Like I think the last time Trump talked to Zelensky, so like when the Pope passed away, and they had at the funeral they talked, and after that, the tone that Trump had against Russia, it was more intense than before. So of course, like people rumor, there's a rumor that Trump is affected by the last person he speaks to. That's a, that's a common understanding in Japan, among the experts that like Trump listens to people. So like after he talks to um, people, the last person will influence him. But but yeah, like I think that hearing from Zelensky, like he probably realized that Russia is not stopping either. And that notion is important because Russia will not stop. You know why? Because the war is supported by Russian people. I think 60% still, like the majority of people still support the war. And also, Putin, as for Putin, he can't pull back now, like the war has what was started long ago, and it's been going on. There are casualties, and people support it. And if he stops now, his support rate will drop. And if that happens in a country like Russia, you don't know what's gonna happen to him, like about his life and so on too. And Putin is such a proud, he has too much pride, as you can see. So yeah, so Putin cannot stop in many ways, like not only militarily, but like politically speaking, like his career and so on. He can't stop, and he will not because he's ambitious. Like, he just thinks differently. Like he's not one of us, like with free-minded people. Like he's not like that. Like he still has the sense of like the World War II and so on. Like still going on with that mindset. He will not stop. And Trump, hopefully Trump will not like it. I hope that he will see what Putin has been up to. Yeah. But Putin knows how to talk to Trump, so that's a problem. I still I really like there's no use in saying this, but I wish that Shinzo Abe was still here with us, that he could talk to Trump and not to be influenced by Putin. But yeah, at least our politicians, they're good, like younger generation politicians here in Japan who speak English very well, and also who have like very intelligent type of people too. So at least the future is bright, I think. Oh, super chat, really? Another pick. Oh, thank you so much. 横の税金を払った。素晴らしい。ありがとう。配信ありがとう。横と秀俊、体に気をつけてありがとうございます。とっても嬉しい。ありがとう。いいね、税金。税金生活します。税金をゲットして。うん。税金の生活します。Yay! That's Yoko Tax. Mesasone gave me Yoko Tax. Yes. This is brought to you for free. Like, I'm so upset today that my face is so round. I think I'm a little fat nowadays. Nowadays, like recently. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. Where was I? I appreciate Ukraine president for not selling his country. Ukraine president for not selling his country as Trump first suggested. I appreciate this girl as many Japanese don't express their opinion. I'm not expressing my opinion. When I look at politics in other countries, I try to stay humble. You know, like I'll of course share my perspective, but like I don't want to be one of those like, oh, Japan should do this and that. Like it's so annoying when that happens. You know, like sometimes it's great. You know, when they refer to, for example, oh, Japan should get stronger and so on. But other times it can get annoying, and I don't want other like people in other countries to feel that way. So I at least try to, but I can be annoying too. I'm like your annoying sister. Yep, 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 yep. I didn't get advertising for your live. No! Like YouTube is weird. Sometimes it works, but other times it doesn't. Hello. Hello. I'm just looking at your comments. The current MAGA party is what's called a big tent party made of different groups. Thus, the disagreement here and there. Yeah. Our ruling party is actually like that, LDP. So Japan is the kind of country that has many, like European countries, you know, like we have many parties, and our current administration actually is made of like two parties. It's a coalition. So it's LDP, Liberal Democratic Party, and Komeito, and like a Buddhist group. They're backed by a religious group called Soka Gakkai, known as cult. They're not really a cult anymore. Maybe they stopped the extreme performance, but they used to because they're a Buddhist group. You know, the one of the so LDP Komeito coalition. So LDP behind Komeito there's Soka Gakkai, and Soka Gakkai, the religious group. Starting when they first started, you know, like their religion, you know, they needed to get attention and so on, I guess, or to boost their momentum or whatsoever. I don't know the background, but they used to destroy the Buddhism. I don't know why it's called like a like, you know, like you have a like a some Buddhism shelf kind of thing at home, so they have to renew that to their version. So their old version, you know, would get destroyed in the street, like in front of your house and so on. That's the performance that we were seeing. So that's why they were called as a cult. And also they are very powerful in like TV and so on. Like they are everywhere. It's such a big religion that like celebrities and so on. Like they often belong to Soka Gakkai, the religious group. Hmm. I don't know why I'm talking about it. I forgot why I am talking about this. Let's see. China's interest is to weaken both countries and economically benefit. Did you hear about waves of protest in China? No, I haven't. Really? In China? The recently the coverage that I saw in Japan was that CCP is threatening like Chinese people in Japan and elsewhere who are supporting uh, who are pushing democracy in China. So they are basically crossing the border, like they don't care if they are in other countries. They still like threaten using their family back home and so on. That was a recent news here, even though it's been going on for years, with other people like Uyghurs and Southern Mongolians and so on. We hear a lot about the case, like my friends, they go through that kind of threats all the time. So that's not new to me, but yeah, somehow they were covering that recently. Yoko looks good. Thank you. That's good. At least like these chubby cheeks will help when I when I am older, I guess. Because when you get older, like you get scrawny, At least these cheeks will survive. Let's see. Our political parties are really just two coalitions, which is really just one party at the end of the day. Wasn't Soka Gakkai a layman organization breaking away from the older organization? I don't even know. It's an old group. Oh, I mean, they renewed the same group after a while. Yeah, I remember reading that. I think it's interesting that Japan started with three parties after World War II. The Liberal Party and Democratic Party merged, and it's one of the world's most successful parties. That's so true. Yeah, that, like the name itself too, like Liberal Democratic Party. Every time I say that name, my foreign friends are like, "What?" And they're conservative, you know. Like they're not conservative like me, but like generally speaking, because our society is left leaning. Uh, yeah. What is the best thing about Golden Week for you, Yoko? Do you have any good memories of past Golden Weeks? What I remember vividly is to coming home from Osaka when I was in university. I remember that time because it was probably the first year, like for, freshman year. And I went to Kansai Gaidai, which is now kind of like their group level has gone way too worse. So I don't want to talk about like mention that name, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. That year somehow it was hot, and I remember wearing a T-shirt and jeans, and came back, and I'm like, oh, I'm only in T-shirt, and that's what I remember. Like it's so hot. I'm in a T-shirt, yay! I remember that. My 18-year-old Yoko. Yeah. Yeah. Golden Week. I don't actually remember Golden Week much because I guess that my family wasn't like we didn't when I was really little, like 6 or so. I remember going to some hotel and, for example, going to ski and so on in winter. But after those years, like after I got into elementary school and so on, like we didn't travel much. My my father is an interesting guy, like he 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 has a hard time breaking out of his comfort zone. Doesn't challenge, another territory and so on. So I wish I had a good memory. What is Golden Week? It's a week, that's so golden, like Trump would like. I wonder what Trump would think about Golden Week, come to think of it. It's golden. What was that? That he named something golden, right? Like there was something I read something today about his policy. Like it's golden something. It's not the golden age, but like what was that? Where did I read that? Now it's bothering me. I'm definitely sure there's something. But anyway, just looking at this, I just remembered this article, by the way. Wait. Wait. Do you see the helicopter? That is Chyyyyna. Chyyyyna. It's so scary because it says that. So we have territorial issues, with China. China is claiming that Senkaku Islands of Japan are Chinese territories. Those have never been Chinese territories in history. They have a fake map, but that's it. Those are Japan, but they always come to like waters around those islands to claim, that those islands belong to China. And then it's on the third Chinese Chinese Coast Guard's ship. From that ship, this helicopter took off and also came into our, airspace, territorial airspace. And then our self-defense forces had to fly, our fighter jets, and like to scramble and made them go away. It's so scary that the helicopter, like it's been, like I understand ships because like we are so used to it, but from those ship like helicopter took off, like it's seriously like they're gonna come invade soon. So yeah, China. 多分読めないかも. Yeah, it's mirrored, right? Like I'm using this in camera, so it's probably hard to read. Do you have a religion, Yoko? Yes, Shinto and a bit of Buddhism. Japanese culture is the combination of the two. Yep. And Shinto though is it's yeah, it is a religion, but the custom aspect is the big part. So we don't really think about, oh, this, at least me, there are many people that respect that, but me, my level is that my understanding is shallow. I gotta be honest. It's shallow. I'm still learning. And for me, it's more custom based, But the most important thing for me is to be connected with our ancestors. Because when I was younger and didn't know anything about history or politics, I used to suffer mentally a lot. because I felt so alone, and I thought I was stupid and ugly and everything bad, that you can think of. But once I learned about my past generations in my family and how they lived and so on, and also the family, like we drew this family tree, you know, and learning about who were there and how they got married and so on. Like that was so like knowing the roots really helped me. And in Japanese culture, like whether it's Christianity or Buddhism or whatever religion that you see, usually Japanese version usually has the like ancestor, like worshiping ancestor part to the religious group. So yeah, so I just talked to like there are pictures of our ancestors, like my husband's side though. We have pictures of them, and I always look at them like to live in the way that you know they wouldn't they'll be proud of and so on. And I always think of the sense of like household or like just family in general, like Japan's ie culture. Like ie usually means in Japanese, ie means house or home, but it's a culture like ie. Our Tenno, our emperor family is also some like Akishinomiya ke. That ke, that word ke is ie, just read differently. Hmm. In Japan, do the wife follow the husband religion? No, free. We are so free. Like we don't force anything. Usually though, like when you are born, like your family belongs to some kind of Buddhism group. Usually, like of course it depends. And 1% or so are Christians, so probably different in those families. But the majority of Japanese people are usually like when we have funerals, for example, it's usually in Buddhism style. People around me, like very very like minor people, minority, they have in Shinto style, but majority Buddhism style. And that's when usually people realize like, oh, our family believes in that Buddhism. We don't usually care because Buddhism is Buddhism. There are like what's it called, a faction, or I don't know the Buddhism term, but yeah, yeah. So so it's carried on by generations, but of course, like there's no like you can change, you know, if you want to, and so on. I love Christ so much. That's great. Like it's the sense of like surrendering to who's there watching over you and so on is such a great feeling. And you know, I don't know about other countries, but I think the Japanese people just believe in everything. Of course, like we have our own beliefs, but it's not like, oh, this must be it. It's not like we know for sure. Rather, our sense is that it's tied to our sense with the nature, but like we just we are just terrified. We find many things or beings threatful that we fear all the deities and so on. So we are scared of curse and so on, like bad consequences of not believing. So it's not like oh yeah, let's believe in this because this is awesome. That's not like that in Japan. We're like, what if we don't believe in this because something might happen? you know it's kind of negative, but that's how we are, at least the majority of people. Yeah, because like natural disasters happen, and what we think of instantly is because is that like, oh, maybe we did something wrong, or oh, maybe we did not worship the deities enough, and that sort of things. Like, oh, we did not believe enough. That's that sense. So like even to the nature, we want the nature to be calm. So we are like, please be calm. You are awesome. We love you. You are awesome. Please do not do anything bad for us. We worship like that. At least that's my understanding. Yeah. 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 You have yeah culture in Japan. Where I live in Arizona, Mikasa is Sukasa. My house is your house. Oh, that's beautiful though. Like every culture is great. It's just you happen to be born with a cultural background. So if I was born in the US, I would be so Christian. I know I would be. But you know how like movies and TV shows are often used as propaganda. Uh, I uh, I consume, I watch a lot of American American shows and movies. So like it really it's such a propaganda. Good propaganda. It's it's brainwashing me to think that America is great. But I do think America is great. Like I love American people. Like American people are so fun to talk to. Sometimes like liberal people can annoy me. But even liberals like because I am from another country, I don't have to fear them as much as you do, for example, because it's not going to affect my country directly, right? So I can kind of look at liberals in the US objectively and also just as foreigners. So I guess that my sense is different from yours. So sometimes even liberals, like I can find good things in them and so on. So yeah. I just like America so much. But I guess that large part of it is thanks to all this, TV shows and so on. But I was sad though. Recently, I finished the last season of this show called You. It's kind of, I guess it's meant for female. It's kind of romantic, but it's like Dexter, but female version. Like the main character is a male serial killer, but like there's a narration going on and so on. But the erotic like sexual things are probably like it's meant for like female viewers. uh yeah, and the atmosphere and so on, like you can tell that it's meant for females. I enjoy that, but that last towards I mean the ending was, I didn't like it because it was like the show was great, but only the very end it was very like feminist type of thing. Yeah, I'm like, huh? That was a big turn off. Anyway, if you give me super chat, I will change the subject anytime. But in the meantime, I will just read your comments. I'm from Arizona, Joseph, and I also love Christ. Cool. Every time I hear Arizona, I think of what's that show's name? I can picture the actress, but I can't remember that name. I was watching that in 2008, so what was that? Like some psychic woman. uh I really like that show. Man, let's see. That sense is common among practicing Christian countries too. Fear of God's judgment. Oh, interesting. Yoko, did you hear about the studies that say Japan is a lost tribe of Israel. Jewish and Japanese culture have plenty of crossovers. Firstborn son honor is one example. Yeah, I mean, there's a conspiracy theory in Japan that we come from the same root. We have a name for the theory too. It's very very uh, famous and popular in Japan because Jewish people are, they have very very difficult past, history. Like if you look in history, they had to flee like everywhere, but and also like of course during the World War II, what they went through is something that I had to watch that documentary about the Holocaust in the junior high school. It was such a realistic documentary that my friends couldn't take it and they felt bad and they had to get out of the classroom and so on too. But yeah, so like I know what they at least like as knowledge, like I know what they went through. But like along the way they have to survive, so they know how to make money, right? Like that's of course like when you go to another place you have to make a living, and they got my understanding is that that helped them a lot with having business and so on. So basically they're rich, right? Like many people, there are many like super rich people, right? So Japanese people, when they look at them, we are like we want to be like them. Like rich people are like just like Americans, like successful people, I guess like Jewish people, yeah, helped with Japan Russia war in 1904 to 5 too. Like we have a lot of I don't know, like historical thing backgrounds that involve both of us. Yeah. And also the religiously too, I guess that it's kind of what would be the word in English? It's just cool to think about that sort of scenario that oh maybe like is it is it Jesus Christ or he's some some guy after him, like somebody came to Japan in the north and that's that became the something. And yeah, people like to imagine things. Like Japanese people like history a lot, and also like we always think about butterfly effect too. What if things were like this and that, and fantasize about it. It's a Japanese thing, but I guess many people in the world do the same too, though. But yeah. Hey Yoko, hello. Thanks for coming. It must be Arizona night in Yokosuka, a Phoenix. Yeah, it's changed a lot since I was little. Culturally, I have a hard time getting along with people from the Northeast. They're very aggressive. Really? Now I know that a classical player, are you open in leading a communist community group over in X Twitter? It will be a safe space for MAGA people who aren't anti-Semitic, the anti-Trump, and love music. Huh? Interesting. I mean, I lead. What do you mean leading? I like to be part of communities, but and anytime responsibility comes in, I'm like, and run away. My wife and I watched the first few seasons of You, really, and it was a bit weird about but you take away the main character's narration, and it would become a lot more sinister TV show. Yeah, the main character is so funny. Like he's so likable in my opinion, but I guess that some people might find him kind of weird or annoying, or I don't know. And yeah. But it's so really similar to Dexter in my opinion, because in Dexter, like there was a narration constantly too, and that guy Dexter also suffered from his dad's teachings. Same, exactly same, the same for you. Yeah, I really like that atmosphere though. Like, like that show makes you want to read. I need to read. I haven't finished. I haven't gone, proceeded yet. It's so sad. Like when every time I have a stomach ache, I can't read. I can watch shows or YouTube videos, but I can't. So reading is a lot of. It, it needs a lot of energy. But anyway, anything else? Dexter the serial killer. Yes, I really liked it. Um, I was watching it very, very early on. Yeah. Mm. Back then, of course, we didn't have Netflix, so. Whew. Love K-pop and wanna get to know more about J-pop through X community. Oh, I see. Oh man, speaking of J-pop, do you know Hikaru Utada? Hikaru Utada? Like, yeah. She made a new song and it includes a political controversy. I don't know why her, like maybe she wanted to be artistic, or like do write music in the way the punk rock musicians or heavy metal type of musicians do sometimes, like satire or some social message and so on. I don't know what kind of approach she wanted to have, but all of a sudden in her lyrics there's a part um like why can we uh, have different surnames in this generation, basically leftist narrative. So like Japanese people are like, what? i I haven't read the lyrics yet. Like I heard a little clip of the part, but I can't see the context, so I don't know if she's actually criticizing Japan for not having the system, like a liberal or communist system, to have different surnames in Japan or not. But many people are just upset because she doesn't even live in Japan and she doesn't know much about Japan. And she's just talking about us in a negative way, not knowing the problems and so on. So, yeah, there's something going on there. Oh, Super Chat, thank you so much. ありがとうございます、スーパーチャット。こんばんは。今までゴールデンウィークはいかがですか？よろしく。今までは私は毎日が日曜日なので、あんまり変化を感じません。毎日が日曜日。主婦なんでね。シャフじゃないですよ、主婦。シャフじゃなく主婦の陽子は、そう、あんまりいつもね、自由だからね。そう。But this is what I do though. I do work like this. I never had any paid streaming service. Really? Heavy metal certainly isn't like that. Really? Sometimes I feel like, what's the band? OTEP? Was it OTEP? Rah, 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 rah. Like when Iraq, is it Iraq war? Iraq war was happening. Many bands, including metal bands, sang about it. So, yeah. いい習慣かもしれませんね。名前はいいですね。ゴーデンで。Oh, somebody's leaving. Hope all of you have a blessed Sunday. Bye. Thank you. Let's see. I'm starting to believe that Yoko single-handedly flipped Arizona for Trump in 2024. It's what? How many Arizona folks are in the chat tonight? Yeah, it is interesting. Like, is it really? Yeah, you. There are many people who support Trump in Arizona. Arizona is the state that Curry Lake is from, right? Yeah. Something's wrong with the reflection of the political dynamics there. Yoko-chan, your English accent is so good that when you speak Japanese, it sounds like a very, very well studied American speaking Japanese. Really? It's probably because you're not used to hearing me speaking Japanese. Thank you, though. That's such a compliment. Yeah. I want to enhance my English, though. I still don't know grammar well. And also, like, some words are hard to say. And I can tell my accent. It's gotten a lot better than before, though. Like, if you watch my video from 10 years ago, oh yeah, there are, there are videos from years ago. If you watch my video from like 10 years ago, like I'm speaking in such a weird way, like Japan or something like that. My my pronunciation or like the flaw or expressions, it was kind of weird. Curry Lake is from Arizona. Yeah, she should be senator. Yeah, I agree with your concern. And the community in X should not be run by one person but shared amongst several manga politics accounts. Take turns so nobody should worry if they want to go holiday. Yeah. We're selling J-pop artists right now. Probably Snowman, Mr. Green Apple, and Six Stones. I've heard of Snowman. It's a boy group, right? Mr. Green Apple. I probably know that song, but like I remember kids singing that. Oh, today I was walking in the park and I think I'm gonna post this though. Can you hear? It's they're singing something. I don't know which song is that is though. Your English is very good. I'm just starting to learn Japanese, so I hope I can get as good as you speaking a new language. Yeah. Japanese language is it's actually kind of tricky though. But like daily conversation and so on should be easy. Like there's a pattern, just like other languages. Mm. It's so great to know though that there are many people that are interested in not only Japan but Japanese language because you know Japanese conservatives, I can only speak for them because that's the circle that I know. But we have had a really hard time with political propaganda, especially like anti-Japan propaganda by CCP. CCP, CCP systematically, spread false information just to attack Japan. They actually made I believe they made a new movie about some 731 troop. I don't know how to read that in English. 731 or 731. Anyway, like there was this troop, like Japanese army, and they just fantasized about it to bash Japan, and now they made a movie about it, and I'm pretty sure that that's gonna cause a lot of historical disputes. And also, Chinese people watching that, like Chinese nationalists, will probably think that Japan is evil, and therefore that we Japanese people should be punished or something. That is really, really dangerous. Yeah. But when things like that happen, Japanese people, like I speak English, but like even I struggle with historical disputes because it's the terminology and historical backgrounds. Like it's so hard to dig in and to summarize things. So like even I struggle. So for ordinary people who don't even speak English, it's really difficult to state our side of story, right? Thankfully, though, like AI technology has gotten better. So, like for example, like when I put my like Japanese sentences into Chat GPT, for example, like they write perfect English as far as I can tell. It might be unnatural to native speakers, but at least like it's natural enough for me, like better than my English. So I bet that like non-English speakers in Japan can do the same. You know, they will not the end result if they that's good enough or not. They can't tell. They don't have the knowledge to, tell the difference. But at least they can do that. So that's better now. But if you guys understood Japanese, you'll be just quick, quick and efficient, and you can spread our story in your native language. So that would be great. Yeah. Copyright, copyright strike. You need to be really good at singing though to get that claim. Hmm. I also really have no idea what is really popular today among young people. Yeah. Um, I don't. I stopped listening to like Japanese music in probably when the 90s was ending. Um, yeah. And so like since I was 15 years old or so, like I started to listen to American music or some European music. So, man, there was a time that I was listening to Eurobeat. There was a like an album type of CDs in Japan, how which had like 80s Eurobeat or 90s Eurobeat, and that kind of CDs sold well in Japan at that time. Man, economy was so much better, and we were so much happier and very active too. So people liked like very happy music, like you know, uplifting music. So yeah. And then since then, though, like 15 years old or so, started to listen to new metal, which was a new thing back then. So I listened to a lot of Evanescence, Slipknot, Korn, what else? Even Hoobastank. A bit, just a rock though. What did I say? Limp Bizkit? Oh, Linkin Park, Evanescence, Slipknot, Stone Sour, Korn, I don't know, some punk rock music like some 41, Blink 182. Oh, then Rammstein was there, like German band. Like there was I had like an album of like hard rock. It was a compilation of hard rock of American or European bands. Oh, Disturbed was good too. And yeah, a lot of bands. And starting from there, like I listened to a lot of like major music, and then I uh, or dug into a lot of less popular bands. Also, but thank you so much. Your English is very good. If you get a chance, there is a really funny morning Musume clip about English class that I think you would like. Really? I used to like Morning Musume. I don't know about today though. I don't know any member today, but yeah. Unit 731 was a real during the World War II. Yeah, troop existed, but what they were doing is not what CCP is saying. They were studying the the science, like a is it bioweapon or something? But but it's not the they were researching what happens to protect from a bioweapons and so on. I think like 貿易. What is 貿易 in English? They were studying. Let's see. Equal epidemic prevention. That's yeah, epidemic prevention was their expertise. That's what they were doing. But CCP, of course, want to demonize Japan, so they create this crazy narrative. And even though Chinese people were the one that were spreading virus and so on, they blame us. Sounds familiar, just like COVID-19. Yeah. History repeats itself. So yeah. Who was that? Who told me that? My friend, my friend. Was it my Ukrainian friend? I don't remember who told me recently though. But in order to create a good propaganda, oh, it was my Tibetan sensei teacher. Yeah, yeah, I think he was. Yeah. So in order to create a good propaganda, you just you know just put some fact, put one or two facts into that, and then just be creative with the rest. And if you just put a fact in that story, then it sounds realistic enough. So like the troop, the 731, it sounds realistic because that troop actually did exist. You know what I mean? So yeah. I want Japan to be Japan first, always. That doesn't mean we can't have friends. We can be friends and still love ourselves and each other. That is MAGA. That is MJGA. Cool. Thank you. Yeah. At least Japanese people are learning though. Like so we lost the World War II. Our media and education system were changed because winners write the history, right? And so we, just like white guilt, we were imprinted war guilt. And because of that, Japanese people are like, imprinted the guilt, the war guilt that like we believe like it's almost like a trauma level, that we believe that we are bad people and we shouldn't have military and so on. Like that's what the majority of people think. But now looking at Ukraine and the rising threat of China and Russia, and not only that, we have actual victimhood, by North Korea. They're still keeping our people who they abducted from years ago, and we are looking at, and also together with that, of course, like we know the human rights issues in China, like Tibetans, Uyghurs, Southern Mongolians, Hong Kong. Well, yeah, Hong Kong protest I think was a wake up call for many people in Japan as well. Like China put Uyghur people in concentration camps, and then Hong Kong protests happened. The big one happened in 2019. And when that happened, um, Japanese people got interested in that because it was so massive and it was young people, and the conflict was crazy. So many people got to see what was going on, and then that sort of things make you think. Watching the news, like you wonder why it's happening and what they're saying and so on. So So that's good. And even though what happened to Hong Kong is such a tragedy, that we need to reverse that though by, making CCP let China fall. So, and in addition to that, now we look at Ukraine and what's happening, and we realize like, oh, like our pacifist constitution doesn't work, and that China is coming into our southern area of Japan, and also they are, illegally occupying the South China Sea, and building bases and so on, and it's really dangerous. Russia is coming into the northern part of Japan as well. Sometimes even like jointly, like patrol around Japan as well, and Russia has already taken our islands, northern islands. They are occupying the islands illegally and so on. So now, like Japanese people, when we look at all these things, like even like ordinary people can kind of tell if they watch the news. So, not everyone watch the news, so that's a problem. But at the same time, our economy is really terrible. So you know, my husband's generation, starting from around that age, so like those who are around 50 or so, or a bit younger than 50, to my generation, so like 40 or so, like that decade or so is like the employment ice age. So for us, like our life is messed up. Like my age is not as bad as my husband's age, like, but a bit older than me generation, they had a hard time because even though they were all smart and so on, like there were no jobs available, and so yeah, they it's really terrible for them. But where was I going with this? Oh, so now, because but we have grown older, and then now younger people are getting better pay over us, you know. It's so weird. Like some people did manage to get in companies, like our generation. But now younger people coming and they get paid better than us. And of course, like it's being stopped, I hope. But like when that story came up, we're like again we are being ignored, like we keep being ignored, like somehow this decade or so, like we get ignored. So like now there are many, I guess that if you hit like 40s or so, like you start having interest, even if you're not generally interested in politics, like you have more time to think, and you get interested because people around you are talking about society or politics, right? But so now those like people in the 30s and 40s, they like we have suffered economically so much that we many of us support, uh, for example, the political party called the Democratic Party for the People, which emphasizes uh, like basically fixing the economy, to increase the the pay that you receive as salary. Like they want to boost that number, so like our generation support them and so on. I don't know why I'm talking about it. I forgot why I was talking about it, but yeah. Yoko, why can't I call myself Japanese if American? If in America someone asks you what you are, you say your ethnicity. Mm. But when I lived in Japan, I could call myself Japanese, but I'm Japanese. Why? You're Japanese? Your blood is Japanese? If that's the case, I don't know. Like nanijin desu ka kind of thing. Like what are you? I generally, isn't it about identity? Like, of course, it needs to be tied with your ethnicity too, but yeah, some people, sometimes like Japanese people, when we ask foreign people like where they're from, sometimes we ask nationality, but other times we are talking about ethnicity. Like, yeah. Sons and daughters should not bear the guilt of their forefathers. Japan, U.S. MAGA can be a force of good during Trump's term. Germany, FG is a concern. Yeah, I need to look into European politics. There was some mention about some super chat. Super chat, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I can go on a little bit longer with because of your super chat. If no super chat, my live stream ends, you know. So thank you. I think I saw in this one. Like there were so Canada, they have a new, so Carney will take power or is taking power. South Korea, man, what happens in South Korea? America should, if America still has the capability, or like what's the word? Like if you can still afford it to do some, influence, espionage kind of thing, like operation in South Korea, you should do that, you know. South Korea, like South Korean leader must be conservative, not leftist. So, but it's the situation is looking bad though. I really hope that South Korea will have a conservative leader again, because leftist being a leftist in South Korea means that you will be pro North Korea, pro China type of things. So you don't want to be that, right? Like the president of the South Korea, I want him or her to be uh, conservative. Oh, I guess not this one. I'm just looking at the newspaper because I thought I did some. Oh, was it Australian? Man, I wish we could have a different prime minister so that somebody that can actually work and adopt like a new policy or strategy so that we can talk about better things, and also like the world would move forward. Oh, this one, it's Australia. Australia had a election, so it's the same guy again. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, anything else? Japan is in a weird state right now because government companies here are more interested in avoiding risk than growth. So true. While the rest of the world keeps growing. Yeah. By fault, this means falling behind. Yeah. We are very passive. Not only militarily, but also economically too. We are passive. Yeah. It's so sad. Like when you look at the news, like you will see like, oh, Japan, like just I was seeing that, like there are two newspapers that I'm looking at right now, like from Saturday and Sunday, and they were talking about some AI technology, What was that? But often when you talk about Japan's technology, it's in modern generation, like I mean, like the past decade or 2 decades or so, we are talking about minimizing, like making machines smaller. That is Japan's what Japan is good at now. And the sad part is that, of course, we can do that because it's our technology. Like making things smaller requires a lot of, really advanced technology. So that's something to be proud of. But the other thing is that we can't, it's just a, you know, reflection of that Japan doesn't have enough investment. So if we did have money invested in like future technology and so on, then we can actually produce a lot of things. But because our, investment is limited, we can only work around it. So like we can only make things smaller and so on. We can't invent new things because politicians haven't, like, in the past they didn't invest in that. Yeah. Speaking of which, though, I think there was a Artemis, Artemis, Artemis. I'm guessing the uh, not translation. Artemis 計画、アルテミス、英語、Artemis, Artemis. So Artemis plan is now postponed or something. Wait, or mm, that's really concerning. Oh yeah, Trump 2026 space budget would cancel NASA rocket, lunar station. That is really, really bad news because our astronaut, I believe, was supposed to go on that too. So, like, I understand that Trump needs to cut the budget, uh, but in order to make his policy work, but you should never, never cut any budget for the space technology. Maybe because of Elon Musk, Trump wants to focus on Mars, but please don't do that. Because if you don't do that, China will take over. That's the worst case scenario. It's so difficult though because I know that America is having issue domestically too. So like you can't do everything, right? Huh. Looking at from another country though, like I used to get on Voice of America, for example, or Radio Free Asia, the Tibet version. I would get on that too, and those are gone. The budget is gone, so I don't know. Aren't they cutting the service too? Like it's, yeah, the situation is not looking good because of course you can't do everything, but and also like especially when liberals are hijacking, but yeah, I don't know. The rocket is not even built completely by the US company anyway. Oh, the actual Orion capsule is Airbus. Oh, I see. Yeah. I hope that, speaking of which, I hope that Japan can help America with the ship 造船業ってなんだ造船 There's so many words that I don't know. 造船技術造船英語 Shipbuilding? Oh, it's so simple. It's so sometimes English is so simple. Uh, so shipbuilding is something that Japan could help America with. So I hope we can help. Mm. I think moon is more important than short term. Yeah, like moon is something that we are already developing. Like other countries are already doing that too. So you don't wanna miss out anything. Living in year 2000 since 1980 is wild. It is wild. So crazy. Isn't it cool that we know the pre-internet era? Like we're gonna be like a fossil in later generation. Like we can tell the young people in the future, like, oh, did you know that we lived in a time where there was no internet? I guess it's already happening, but yeah, kind of makes me feel good. I'm like a witness of history, and yeah. But the interesting part is that my husband is 9 years older than me, and yeah, but I started to use like the internet every day starting at the age of 15 years old, every day. At first it was still a dial up thing, like phone connection, and it was not fast at all, but like I was using the phone line. I got online often. I was using Yahoo chat. Like I was in chat rooms. There was a thing called chat rooms. Good times. But anyway, I was doing that, so like, even though I know the time before the internet, and even though I'm not a digital native, I'm close to digital native, like I was still a teenager. I mean, in fact, like I learned computer, like I took computer lesson when I was in elementary school, in class, and so like I did have some exposure to technology back then already, but at the age of 15, I started to use the internet. But my husband is different. He only started to use the internet only after he became an adult. So like the recognition and also the skill and so on are different, and the world that we see are different. So it's so weird. The generation gap is so weird. Oh, special arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you. The original comment was Japanese technology has been in the 2000 since 1980. Oh, I see. Japanese technology has been in the we were ahead. It's in 2025, but the tech is still. Oh, now we're. Well, I'm so confused. It's just in the. Oh, still, you mean like today? Still, we are in 1980. I mean 2000. Meaning, but the tech is still year 2000 tech. Yeah, it's interesting how, for example, like Japan is advancing like fax machine technology. But Americans use that too, though, right? Fax machines are actually useful. Our parliament members, like if you visit the office, you realize that they use fax machines. It's actually useful. Don't use Boeing. They messed up the space station trip so badly. Don't they have issues with planes too? Like every time there's an accident, it's Boeing, I feel. Yeah, but technology is so difficult though. Of course, like there are some miscalculation and so on. It happens all the time. To Mars, Yoko and Hubby can start driving Cybertruck around in Japan to see if TDS virus exists. I can never leave the Earth though. I want Mars so bad. Really? I am with Elon. I want to die on Mars. What? I want to have 25 hour days and to get to have an extra hour of free time. Really? I am with Elon. Mars must not answer. Mars must not answer to any Earth government. A new government there. I don't know. I like the Earth too much to leave for Mars. Mm. And I feel like every time I look at the moon, it's like even though I am happy about advancing technology because I'm such a Japanese, I don't want humans to change the nature too much. Like the moon is something that we look up to. And it's like uh, we see the some what's the pattern on the surface too from the earth. We can see that. And in the future it might change, and it's sad when you think about it. And it's like a beautiful thing that like untouched moon figure is now gone. Like it's like human is touching it. And now Mars will be touched too, and it's kind of weird because I don't have a expansionist type of sense. Like I'm 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 like Japan should be Japan like today. Like we have islands and that's our home and that's it. And I personally don't intend to grow bigger and so on. So like going to another planet is so wild. But then Americans especially, I guess that you guys are like a Columbus kind of thing that you go find all these new territories. So, but I guess I'm the weird one in the world though. Yeah. I'm so hungry, by the way. It's 6? It's 6 already. Oh my gosh, you guys need to go to sleep, right? Uh, Sorry for skipping a lot of comments. Your father is PhD economist who studied under Nobel Prize winning economists like Milton Friedman. What? They will always say about Japan, we build it, and then the Japanese make it smaller. Yep. Um, the cultural background to that though is that Japanese people always admire, like we love small things, small beings, small creatures, small gadgets, whatever, like small things. When we look at small things, we're like, ah, it's in our nature. So that's part of it. But the economic background, the investment problem is another thing too. But yeah, we're like kawaii. We like whatever small. Yeah, so interesting. Yeah. Mm. Oh, dinosaurs stayed on the same planet, on the Earth, right? I like dinosaurs, and for that reason, I like what's the word? ワニってなんだっけ? Wow, ど忘れした. Some, I'm forgetting words. Crocodile, I think. Crocodile, yeah, crocodile and lizard and so on. I like that sort of animals. Like looking at it, is so beautiful. Like when you look at the surface of the skin and so on, like, how, you know? And it's so much like a dinosaur living still on this earth. And it's so fascinating when you think about it. Like, you imagine dinosaurs looking at, reptiles like that, and I like thinking about that. I started to get hungry. It's 11 here. Oh, you still have a long day ahead. Birds are living dinosaurs. Yeah, but just small. small. Somebody made it smaller. Maybe in nature they are like Japanese type, who make things smaller. Yeah. I'm starting to like birds better than before. I didn't like I don't know, like I didn't have anything towards birds until recently. Yeah. I learned about Shubi stork, and after that I'm like, oh, birds are actually cute. Mm, make laws that ban mining on the moon. Oh yeah, we should do that. But would China or Russia actually listen? It'd be funny though. Now we keep talking about like China and Russia and their threats, but actually India is rising. I believe India is on the moon too, right? And they're the type of people who found zero. They're good at math, and in African countries and everything, like their technology is shipped. Like they're on an infrastructure level. India is really really strong. They're rising. The population is so big, and yeah, I have a feeling that the world, the sense of world today will be so much different in the near future with Indians, a lot of Indians. But it'll be fun though with Bollywood music. I love Bollywood music, by the way. Bollywood, not Hollywood, but Bollywood. Yeah, I wish that just they still have the social structure, like the class system. So I feel like that's stopping them from, you know, growing. But at the same time, it's their tradition which should be respected. So I have mixed feelings about it. But yeah, it will look so different. But today, though, JD Vance is already married to an Indian woman, and yeah, and Ramaswamy is Indian. Nikki Haley is half Indian. Yeah. If we don't spread to Mars, Venus, and the other terrestrial moons, we might just get hit by meteora. Inseki. Really? Earth is that dangerous? T-Rex raptors. Yeah. Dinosaur died. Isn't that interesting that they all died? Was it that cold because of inseki? That was I kept seeing on the news like, oh, Earth will be hit by some meteora. Met- I can't read that soon. But then they kept changing the number, like of possibility, like 3% or 10% or whatever. I guess that it's so hard to calculate. You live in a village? Cool. Indians will put on the moon. Not that kind of Indians though. Really really intelligent type of Indians are just like the people on the west. In the west, I feel. Like I for example, I know this expert. in national security. He works for a famous global institution based in Sweden, ISTP. He's so smart, and it's so interesting. Like, he's so Indian on the surface, but he's not Indian. like you forget that he's Indian, you know? Like, he speaks perfect English and everything, and yeah. There should be many people like that though. For example, in the UK, right? Snuck was Indian, right? Hmm. That's so interesting. Anyway, if no super chat, I need to end, yo. We crash landed rocket boosters on the moon with seismographs on it to figure out the destiny of the interior. Wow, that's hard. Japanese, Japan launched something to the moon and it didn't flip, I think. Like, it needed to get the sunlight to get going, but it didn't flip enough so that India helped us or something. I feel like there was a thing like that. I don't remember exactly, but yeah. Japan has capability, but not financially, so that's something that we need to fix. But then Trump senpai is really he wants to win so bad for his country that even from an alliance like Japan, he's trying to win. So we are, uh, you guys help Japan, please. Uh, 66 million years ago, an asteroid hit Chi- Chicus in the present day Mexico, and the crater is 180 kilometers. Whoa. Did people die? Were there people? That's so huge. A huge. Oh, thank you for your super chat. Did I see that? Sometimes, like, when I'm looking at myself in the camera, like, I see, like, either dust or bug moving around. I'm like, what is that? Thank you so much for super chat. Elon Musk often puts it this way: if human beings do not find a way to live beyond the Earth, then eventually humanity will cease to exist. Mm. I mean, we should have the technology, yeah. Yeah. I can't think about that. It's because I'm gonna die long before that. But yeah, it's important to have leaders like that, I think, because they don't have an ordinary sense or set of mind. Like, I'm such an ordinary person when it comes to things like that. Like, I can only think about the current thing or maybe a few decades later or something like that. But good leaders think about like 100 years from now and so on. Like, national strategy usually think about hundreds of years later too. I don't have that way of thinking yet. I'm still learning. So yeah. So that's great that he can think about that. Yeah. Oh man. It's just that I guess that, Japan, for example, like we have the same country, Japan, our system, with the with having a Tenno, our emperor, as a symbol of our country. It has been going on for over 2,000 years, like nearly 3,000 years actually. So like it's been Japan all along, and it's so long that we are based on the past emotionally. I feel like it's a continuation of the past. What worked in the past must work type of way of thinking. So, but other country, like, if the earth was made of only Japan, then that would work. But other countries like China, for example, they don't care about the environment. They don't care about other humans. So they do whatever they want to, at least what the leaders want to. So then they change the premise of the game. So then we need to be able to, you know, counter that, right? Yeah. I mean, Earth is very much alive, though. That's something that I can tell. Yeah. Like the weather changing so much. Many people, say that it's because of the climate change, like a, not climate change, like a global warming and so on. Of course, like humanity probably is affecting the earth, like the environment a lot too. But who knows, like how much, like how much of it is actually because of humanity, right? And we have earthquakes, and we can't figure out the patterns and so on, like mechanism yet, or like at least like enough. And so it's like one day maybe like the earth could explode or something. You never know. AI, maybe the Optimus robot can massage you. That would be so great. I Man, I get so tense. I like Man, what I'm learning recently, like I've realized that I might actually have ADHD. Like that's something that's like I'm coming to realize that I might have ADHD. You know why? Because I used to look down on ADHD because um because it's like, I have this concentration ability, like when I draw or something, or when I make music, or when I'm working on a paper, like research paper kind of thing. I forget to go to the bathroom, or even if it crossed my mind, I'm like, no, it can wait, and I'm like, like I concentrate so much so that like when I hear the word like ADHD, I'm like, they can't concentrate, like that was my you know thing that I thought about it, but then I realized recently that maybe it's a type of ADHD, like hyper focus is actually a symptom of ADHD, I heard. So now I'm concerned. And I don't even know why I started talking about it. Oh, massage. Yeah, because of that. Yeah. Yes. And I have a problem with like a hyper focus, you know, and my husband says something, I can't hear it. Like that's so much the symptom depicted as ADHD. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I can't manage time very well, hence this time range of live stream. So like, yeah, I probably have some issues, right? Oh. That's something that I'm realizing finally after decades of living here. Yeah. But because of my hyperactive mind, I get tensed so much that because of that, probably I have this disease, like inflammation in the stomach. Because I'm like, I'm always thinking, I'm fighting within to figure out in the correct way, and both in Japanese and English, and it's all messed up. It's so messy, you know. And then so like massage sounds so good, but you have ADHD too, di diagno uh, diagnosed in 20 years ago. Uh, Knowing that is helps you, right? Like to how to cope with that. Like I haven't gone to any doctor about it because I never thought that I would have that. But like it's I guess that you get the you have the doctor tell you that you have it so that you can cope with that well, right? I need to learn how to handle myself. By the way, the battery is running out. It's probably like 10% or so. Not 大丈夫. It's probably coming from my it's gross, but too much information. But it's probably coming from the nodes or something. Like it's not like dry or anything. I mean, I'm talking and there are some air, so of course it's dry, but it's not like I have a cold or anything. 精神障害を対応するのは日本社会が苦手いると思いますけれども、スティグマがあるせいで people won't get help. Yeah, just jump in front of a train instead. Exactly. Like we blame it on ourselves. Like, oh, there must be something wrong with us. Yeah, let's die. So that we don't cause any more troubles. Yeah. I always bash myself, like, oh, maybe didn't say it in the correct way, or maybe I behave in a weird way, or maybe I didn't dress nicely enough, or stuff like that. So, yeah, it's wrong. Being Japanese makes you really busy on the mind. Anyhow, I should probably go because the battery is dying. I didn't it was like 70% or so charged. It was not 100%. So, yeah. I'm not afraid of robots because I have always been nice to AI. Someday when the robots take over, the robots will make a statue of me because all I did for human robot relations. Cool. I want to be that too. I when I used ChatGPT, like it doesn't store information anymore. Like if you are using as a guest, so like I can't do that anymore. But when I was at the like in the beginning, like I was using it and I gave this ChatGPT that I was talking to, a, I gave him a personality and identity, you know, and yeah, I was so nice to him. So fun. Gonna live stream while connected to AC power. That's YouTube. I know. I mean, I have a here, but then this microphone cannot be used. So I only have like when I use a hub, I you guys complain that it's too small. So yeah, only in your 20s. Ah, when I was adult, no other child. Oh, I see. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, as much as I want to talk to you guys, I should probably, let you guys sleep. But I guess the active, active people now in the chat are from Europe and Japan, though. But yeah, I should. It's 6. It's still light. Oh, can you can you see the light a little bit? Like I don't want to show my neighborhood, but yeah, it's still bright outside. It's already 6:20 because of the light. I was confusing myself. I got confused, Huh? You're in Arizona. Oh my gosh, a lot of people in Arizona tonight. Oh my gosh, what is happening? Audio engineer. そうだ。お任せください. Cool. Yeah, I need to figure out the how to interview people. Like you need a pin mic, like a small microphone and so on. I need to get those. So yeah, I need budget too. But is AI better in Japanese or English? Do you use Grok? Actually, they have a good job of translating, so I don't feel any difference using in either language. Um, but I'm fascinated by ChatGPT translation skill. Grok, like I use it mostly for AI for translation, and so ChatGPT is the best when it comes to translation, in my opinion. At least like Japanese and English. Uh, and Grok is natural and it's better, but it's not my type. But when of course like you can make good pictures and so on. So that's great. But yeah, and I liked what's the Google one? Gemini was great too. But oh, they don't let you translate like Trump related stuff, because they're so political correctness. So that's why I stopped using them. They were really good too. Anyway, I'm gonna go, y'all. Rode Wireless. Isn't that super expensive? That brand sounds so expensive. Budget friendly. It has to be budget friendly. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for sticking till the end. I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm forever talking. I should shut up. So, thank you. Come back next week. Yeah, hopefully I'll have more energy and I can start off early. Or yes, thank you so much for super chat too. I really appreciate it. I can go on with my life thanks to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 48th state of the USA. Cool. Yeah, hopefully there will be Arizona people next week too. Okay, ありがとうございました. Thank you so much. Talk to you in a week. Okay, good night or have a good day. You'll be here. Okay, bye.